There is literally so much for us to talk to about these latest May the 4th updates that are coming out. I don't even know where to start, but I guess I'm going to start off with the real positive stuff about a bunch, or should I say five new Lightspeed bundles that are dropping into the game on May the 4th, guys. Some of these are huge. Let's have a talk about it. It was only a couple of hours ago that these Lightspeed bundles came available to us through the Discord server of swgoh events. They have data mined a bunch of additional Lightspeed bundles that are coming. They were put into the code essentially with this last update that kind of threw a bit of a wobbly in the game last night, and we were able to extract all the information around them. First and foremost, there is a General Skywalker Lightspeed bundle, and I will say that most of these packs are all geared towards that end goal of getting General Skywalker. Okay, so there is a couple of different packs that can get you in there. This first one over here is called the General Skywalker bundle. Now, don't get me wrong, this will not get you everything that you need for General Skywalker. It will get you most of the way there. You can see that it's already missing the likes of Padme. It's also missing the likes of C-3PO, but funnily enough, two of the other packs do cover that. Now, at face value, you take a look at this and you think $50 for, well, it's quite a lot of characters. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 Relic 3 characters. Don't get me wrong, it's a lot of characters, but $50 is a significant amount of investment. Now, there is nothing else in the game that will get you this level of reward for $50, realistically speaking, but obviously a lot of people are going to have had certain characters. Maybe you're only getting 1 or 2, maybe you're getting 3 characters. Now, the real big kicker with this one is it also comes with a couple of ships. You can see here that it actually comes with a full 7-star negotiator. Yes, it does come with Anakin, and it comes with Ahsoka's ship, and it comes with Fives' ship, and the Clone Sarge ship, and Plo Koon's ship. It is missing the BTLB Y-Wing, the pilotless tank ship, which is kind of necessary for the negotiator fleet to operate, and of course it is missing the Bad Batch ship, the Marauder. Now, I understand why it's not got the Marauder in. The Marauder is a much newer ship. None of the characters in this pack provide you with the Marauder. The Marauder is not a named unit that you need for General Skywalker, but the fact that they give you a 7-star negotiator is out of this world good. It is really good. Now, of course, the pack over here does also give you a Relic 3 Plo Koon, which you do not need at all to get General Skywalker, and same for Clone Sarge, really. You can use them in that fleet mission, but you certainly don't need them at Relic 3. It is a nice to have. These are the sort of characters that you think, oh, hang on, yeah, that could be a little bit useful for me in the fleet. It could be useful for me down the line, but not necessarily for the unlock. It's got pretty good characters overall. The only downside is they are only Relic 3, they're not Relic 5, which I would have preferred to see, but overall, if you are an early game player and you don't have your negotiator maxed out, this could well be a very good investment for you. You'll just have to get that BTLB Y-Wing and consider investing also into the Bad Batch. Pretty good pack depending on where you are in the game. Next up, we've got the Padme Amidala Lightspeed bundle, and this one, honestly, to me, it feels a little bit sketch. When we take a look at the characters, it's not that any of them are bad. My main concern with the Padme Lightspeed bundle is that, yeah, it's half the price of the gas bundle. Sure, I get that. It gives you units that you don't necessarily need, but they are all worthwhile, and they are at slightly higher relic levels. But realistically speaking, this is overkill to unlock Padme. It does give you all the neat units that you need to actually unlock gas on his tier 4, but if you're going to buy the gas bundle, if you buy this, you have all the units here that you need for the gas tier 4 event anyway, and this will unlock Padme for you, so why do you need this? Is it just so that you don't have to spend $50? I get it, they are slightly higher relic levels, but Relic 3 to Relic 5, I mean, it's okay. I suppose technically it's better value if you just want to get gas and you don't care about the rest and you don't need the negotiator. I don't know, this one feels a bit weird to me, the Padme pack. It's still decent, all of them are good characters, you know. You still need to get Sidious, for example, Count Dooku, for example, if you're going for C and stuff like that, so it's not terrible. Next up, we've got the C-3PO Lightspeed bundle, and I was so dead certain they were going to release this pack like 4 months ago. 4 or 5 months ago. Honestly, if this pack had come out earlier, I think it would have been amazing. And that's only because people were all really bought in to unlocking Leia Organa as a GL. They were really bought into the speeder bike raid. But now, who really wants to invest in their Ewoks and not get Nisa when we're going to move on to a new raid in most likely a month and a half, 2 months, maybe 3 at the very latest? The only thing I can say for it is it's $14.99. So if you really want Ewoks, go ahead. Just be warned, it doesn't have Nisa, and Nisa is the kind of the linchpin that makes Ewoks even half decent. So hey, I'm going to pass on this one. Now the Night Sister Lightspeed bundle, this one I am stoked about. I am so happy that the Night Sister bundle is here. And you know why, guys? Y'all know why. It is because my Night Sisters are legendary bad. They are so terrible that I'm gonna be skipping my way to swiping my credit card just to get that bundle, because my Night Sisters are garbage, and now I can have some relic ones. Now I'm super happy. Now don't get me wrong, this does not come with a relic Merrin. That's okay, my Merrin is gear 12, I'm alright, I've got a couple of gear 12 of them, but this is just, for me, $14.99, yes I would prefer it if they were relic 5, yes I would prefer it if it was $9.99, but there it is, brilliant value for a faction that is very good. And it's a faction that, honestly, I can't recommend a lot of people gear up because there are so many better teams to invest in right now. This pack for me is huge value, and honestly, if you got spare $15, I'd recommend buying this. If you don't have your Night Sisters geared up, just make sure you go ahead and take a moment to gear up Merrin to get that team really flowing. And the last one over here is the Geonosian Lightspeed bundle. I'm not mad at this at all. $14.99, this kind of falls into the same vein as Night Sisters, right? Poggle, for example, has got a really good Omicron in TW. If you really care about TW, that's really great. For me, personally, like, they're all pilots. Well, they're not all pilots. 3 of them are pilots, right? So you'll be increasing the viability of your Malevolence fleet. It also does help towards being able to use Datacrons with them. They've had Datacrons in the past. We currently have a Separatist set of Datacrons active right now, so you can make use of that. And also there is a mission in TB. I know they require Relic 7 Geonosians, but this gets you a bunch of them at Relic 3. My Geos are, almost all of them are Gear 12. I've got GBA and Spy at Relic 4, so I won't be impacted by that, but I think that's still $15 well spent. Overall, I'm super happy to be seeing that we have got Geonosian Lightspeed bundles, we've got Night Sister Lightspeed bundles, and we've got Gas and Padme and Ewoks and all this sort of business. Really good to see additional Lightspeed bundles coming into the game. Now, these are arriving May the 4th, and they will be here inside the store for, well, until the 11th of May it's going to be. So if you are interested in getting these packs, perhaps think about putting up some money to just one side so that you'll be able to pick them up when they go live. Some real good value to be had here. We did get a whole bunch of additional information coming with this new update as well. We have been told that the planet Mandalore is officially coming. It has been confirmed. Yes, we knew it was coming, but now it's confirmed to be in the next TB. We have information right now around the platoons, and it's pretty hefty stuff. You can see we need Executors and Lord Vaders and Leia Organas, and you need your General Skywalkers, and your Luke Skywalkers, and all the Skywalkers. You even need Cup. But the big thing is we now know what the opening requirements are for the planet, which is going to be on Tatooine. You need to be able to be off the Crate Dragon, which I think is going to be pretty sick. It's probably just going to be a rehash of the raid a little bit, I guess. Maybe with a few other spicy things thrown in there as well. In order to unlock, you need to have Bo-Katan Mandalore. That's new Bo-Katan, the new legendary Bo-Katan that comes around about the 10th of each month. You need to have Beskar Armor Mando at Relic 7, and then it's another 3... Well, actually, it says any additional Mandalorian. I think it might be a 3... Yes, it might be a 3-character unlock. So who might be the best fit for that? Well, I'm not entirely sure. It could be IG-12 and Grogu. It might be Paz. We'll have to wait to see what the actual event entails. Don't worry about that, though. As soon as this goes live, I'm going to be having video guides out for this to try and get it done, and I'll make sure that you don't fail in unlocking. Now, they have to be R7 to unlock the planet. It's going to be on Phase 4 on Tatooine. So, it's going to be much later on compared to Zepho. Not only that, the missions are going to be of a higher tier. You need to have Relic 8 at the very minimum, and there is a Relic 9 mission as well. It doesn't actually state here if it is a special mission or if it's a combat mission, but Relic 9 for Bo-Katan, Mandalore, and Mandalorians, that is a really, really big investment. I don't think that there's going to be a heck of a lot of engagement in this. They haven't stated outright in this post what the rewards are, but we do have data mined rewards, and I want to talk about that ever so quickly before I go back to why I think this is a little bit highbrow. So just to confirm, I was just double checking over the data mined information here, and the unlock mission for Mandalore is 3 units. It's not a full team of 5. It says right here you need to have Mandalorians at Relic 7 or above, Bo-Katan Mandalore, Beskar Armor Mando, +1, max units of 3. Okay, so it's definitely going to be 3 units. You only need to have 3 Relic 7 Mandalorians. 2 of them have to be Bam and Bo-Katan Mandalore. Good to know, though. Good to know. So this is what I was going to talk about. The rewards for unlocking the various thresholds, I'm not going to call them stars, have already been data mined. This isn't officially confirmed, so this is probably subject to change, but I would imagine, 90% chance this is about right. So box 1, similar to Zephyr, you get box 1, box 2, then you get a bonus star, right? So box 1, get 3, 175, Chirotech 50. I don't know if that's 50 of each Chirotech, I don't know if that's 50 of one. Last time it was 25 and 25 on Zepho. 25 of one Chirotech, 25 of the other. So if you get both, if you hit the 2 boxes, you'll get both. So I imagine this is just basically 50 Chirotech of the computers, and this one down here will be 50 Chirotechs of the shock prods. I'm guessing, we don't fully know. You also get, for the second box, 350 additional get 3, which is nice enough. It's pretty decent rewards there. And the actual Mandalore unlock mission will give you 50 get 2. So just getting the 25 unlocks, because you need to complete that unlock mission 25 times out of your guild, so 50% win rate essentially, you're going to be getting yourself 50 get 2 as well, which isn't too bad, truth be told. My concern with this is I don't know how realistic it is for you to hit box 1 and box 2, because we don't know how many territory points we need. We can only make assumptions, right? But if a lot of the missions are gated by Relic 8, if a lot of the missions are gated by Relic 9, if the platoons are particularly difficult to try and fit in with everything else, this is going to be a very, 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 very long time coming, and it doesn't feel quite the same as Zepho. Zepho is much more achievable to try and unlock, and the rewards were almost as good. And I'm like, I can't see many people Relic 9ing their Bo-Katan Mandalore teams, because you're going to need a full team by the sounds of things. 5 people going into that Relic 9 mission. 5 Relic 9s, that's more than a lot of characters have. That's more than a lot of people have in the game, So I'm a little bit disappointed in this. I'm hoping that the missions are cool, but I'm a little bit concerned we're not really going to be seeing it very often. We're not going to be engaging in it very often. Still, extra rewards in TB and thinking it of this as sort of a long-term goal for people is still not a bad thing. TB has to be a long-term investment. It's a long-term goal. It's supposed to last us years. So I do understand that concept. And, working on a Relic 9 Mandalorian team means you'll still be able to use them in other phases of TB as well down the road. So it's not a wasted investment. It's just a very high bar. What I would have liked to have seen is just, instead of just the Chirotech and the Get 3, maybe give us a little bit of signal data, maybe giving us a little bit of Girder keypads, impulse detectors, Zimbiddles, that sort of thing to help alleviate that crunch. Like, the amount of investment it takes to get here, it's not just Chirotech. That's not the bottleneck here. It's the relic levels that hurt us. It's nice to have Chirotech, don't get me wrong, and get is always nice, but I would like to see a little bit more coming back from CG that addresses how do we actually get those relic levels without bankrupting ourselves. There's always a crunch on carbonite circuit boards and bronzium wirings and signal data and stuff like that, and that never really gets addressed here. So hopefully in the future we'll see a little bit different. One last thing that I do want to say about the Mandalore planet. This more or less confirms it, guys. We're not getting a new character unlock. Again, I think that is a big misstep. It builds excitement when we get something new and shiny, and we get to chase that for something cool like a brand new character. I would quite happily have sacrificed all the Cairo to get us a new TB character that is on a power level similar to Reva. That would be cool. That would get me more excited, but we're obviously not going down that route. Maybe we are, and they're going to surprise us on May the 4th, but I wouldn't bet on it at this point. There is one final little bit of disappointment here as well, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry to say this, but Meathead, and, hats off to CG for this. They did a Q&A, I believe yesterday or day before yesterday, where Meathead brought on CG ABC, who is the kit designer for Jar Jar. Phenomenal kit. Really, really excited to see it happen. Super, super stoked for this. But he did do a Q&A just a couple of days ago, going over, hey, what have we done for the kit? What's coming? What was your inspiration? I have a feeling it might have been Jar Jar from The Phantom Menace. I don't know, just throwing a wild thing out there. But they did also address the cadence of the event. How frequently is Jar Jar Binks going to be appearing in the Journey Guide? When can we unlock him? How quickly can we unlock him? We know he's coming on May 2nd. But after May 2nd, he's there for a week. Where's he going? When's he coming back? Unfortunately, in my opinion, they are saying that Jar Jar is coming back once a quarter. So approximately every 3 months, which is more in line with what we've seen historically with legendary events. That's how it always used to be. It's how we would expected to see most legendary events come around. Now, I think, in my opinion, this is a bit of a failed endeavor. I mean, I can't say it's a failed endeavor. I just don't think it's player friendly. I understand CG is a company and they want to build money and they want to try and make profits. I understand that. But if it wasn't for the fact that Jar Jar is confirmed to be, he is the legendary for the Gungan faction. The Gungan faction is confirmed to be the featured faction for this raid. They are the best team to be using in the raid, according to CG. Their words, right? They are the featured faction. You look at previous featured factions. Crate Dragon Raid, we had Jabba the Hutt, okay? Max scores, undermanned teams with an Omicron. Amazing team. Really good value, right? Speeder Bike Raid, which came after it. What did we have? We had Leia Organa as the featured faction. Well, she's not the featured faction, she's the featured GL, right? What does she do? She solos that raid for maximum points at the highest difficulty. Hugely valuable. Hugely valuable. Great investment for players to make. Permanently available in the Journey Guide. Jar Jar is the linchpin. Without him, there is no Gungan team. You can't field a full team of Gungans, and honestly, they're missing just that little bit of spice, right? His kit is amazing, and it really elevates them. If he is going to be what makes that faction max score in this raid, and he's only coming back once every 3 months, depending on when this first raid starts, when we get the very first announcement of the Naboo raid, it can mean that players who are not ready for Jar Jar are going to miss out on being able to use him for an extended period of time. Okay, so we already know that these raids are supposed to have about a 9-month shelf life. They're only supposed to be around for about 9 months and then they disappear. If you missed the second time that he's coming back, you're missing an extra 3 months. Maybe. It's only approximately 3 months. What if it turns out to be like Jedi Knight Cal Kestis and he disappears for 6 months? And then you get no more benefit of Jar Jar in this raid. One of the big selling points of the character. Completely gone because there'll be a new raid that replaces this one. And you no longer you can't use your Gungans anymore. They're no longer the featured faction of the raid. Right? I think this is not in the interests of the player base. And I know what they're trying to do, or I feel like I know what they're trying to do, which is to try and build FOMO, right? They're trying to see, they're going to give us a taster of saying, hey, look how good Jar Jar is in the raid. Jar Jar smashes top points in the raid. If you've got him, go ahead and use him. Relegate him. He's going to be brilliant. He's going to get you extra rewards for your guild. You're going to be pushing an additional box because of him. But if players are missing large chunks of that time in which they can get value from him, in that raid, they're going to be really disappointed, especially if they're ready. What if they miss out on the Jar Jar event by a couple of days? They just couldn't make it. And they miss out on 3 months. You'd be so disheartened. I think a better approach would have been more like Bo-Katan, where she comes back once a month. That way, when the raid goes live, Jar Jar's event comes once a month. It's first day. Maybe a lot of people miss him. Maybe a lot of people missed the second coming of Jar Jar. That sounds oddly prophetic. Maybe they missed that, but they get, 6 people in their guild have got Jar Jar, and they post really good scores, and they start talking in their Discord servers, word of mouth, and they say, oh, Jar Jar's really good, he's able to do this, this, and that. I'll be putting out video guides, for example, on how to max scores and stuff like that. You can hold your horses on for that, and I will get that video out as soon as possible. But word of mouth will spread, and people will get more and more excited about Jar Jar. They're not going to be thinking, oh wait, Jar Jar's not going to come for another 3 months. I don't have to triple refresh my farm now. I've already farmed half the shards. I'm only going to double refresh. But if it's coming, if they see that and they're like, oh, Jar Jar's coming back in about 2 weeks, I'm going to really press this. I'm going to, invest a little bit more. I might buy that pack that's come back with his event, like happens with Bo-Katan. Additional packs come out for the characters, the marquees for that unlock when she comes back. So, like, if CG would have done that, I think a monthly cadence probably would have generated more excitement, especially if Jar Jar really is so very good in this raid. I think with the longer lifespan, once you miss that second one, people are probably they're not going to give up on their GL farms to get, a third of the benefit from this raid. I'm a little disappointed in this one, I'll be honest. I do understand where they're coming from. I understand where they're coming from. They want to try and get people to get Jar Jar immediately. They want people to be afraid about missing that first raid. And honestly, part of me thinks that this raid is going to launch a little bit sooner. Maybe we're going to get it a month before Jar Jar comes back, so that people can see how good Jar Jar is in the raid, and they're like, oh, hang on, Jar Jar should be coming back in 4 weeks. Let's try and get him. I understand that they might be doing that to try and incentivize people, to try and build on that fear of missing out, right? FOMO. To get them to invest in Jar Jar. But I just think that there's going to be so much of the player base that have got more important things to farm than Gungans, that the idea of missing out an extra 3 months of him being around is just going to put them off completely and probably leave a little bit of a sour taste in people's mouth. But I'm just speculating here. You guys are the player base, much like myself. What do you think about a 3-month cadence on Jar Jar? Good? Bad? What would you have preferred to have seen? Do you think he should have been a permanent journey guide character so that people can unlock him at their own pace immediately and take that benefit straight into their guild? Let me know in the comment section down below. We need to give this feedback to CG so that they can understand the player base's position. All right? So a little bit more on the Jar Jar subject here. There is, of course, an opportunity to wail on them. It's just, CG trying to build on that, fear of missing out, try to invest in Jar Jar. I understand where they're coming out. There are going to be packs available. These are going to be dropping May 4th, something like that. Might be a little bit earlier than that. But anyway, there is a pack here. It's $40, and you do manage to get quite a big chunk of Boss Nass shards, as well as additional shards across the board for the other marquees. So maybe if you got close but didn't finish up, $40 is $40. You do also get a couple of Zetas and some Chirotech. I'm not going to say, hey, this is really, really great value, because value is a very, very subjective thing. $40 is not a small amount of money to spend in this game. If you are close and you think that you might be able to reach the Gungans with this particular pack, then this could be something that's beneficial to you. I just want you to be informed. I'm not trying to push you in either way on this one. Just useful to know. So in other news then, there is a new data cache upgrade. I'm really, really super happy about this. This is live and in the game as we speak right now. If we head over to shipments and we go down to Datacrons, this one is a huge quality of life thing for me. This 60 million used to be 30 million. Data cache, this is the currency that you need to upgrade your Datacrons. They've doubled the maximum amount you can have, and I'm super happy with this, because I was wasting millions upon millions of credits rolling over between sets. The only other solution is to essentially fiddle around and work with your data cache and slowly dismantle your Datacrons before the dust happens and invest it into new ones. And it was really cumbersome and problematic, and honestly a big waste of time. So this, for me personally, and anybody that invests heavily in Datacrons, this is a great, great thing. We can't earn anymore, but it's just like having a mod inventory cap increase, but for Datacron currency. I really, really like this one, so hats off to CG. Thank you, guys. Now they've gone through a couple more bug fixes and that sort of thing. They are actually saying that there's potentially some bugs with the Jar Jar event special. It's not even in the game. We're a couple of weeks out from the Jar Jar event going live, and they're always saying it's bugged. I find that a little bit humorous, but at least they're acknowledging it. They're holding their hands up and saying, look, guys, it's a little bit messed up, but we will fix it. There's also something about Jar Jar's kit right now. The frustration mechanic, which is a new debuff that he's got, can apply what is effectively ability block, but it isn't called ability block. So there are scenarios in the game where that could be game breaking, all right? So certain characters are immune to ability block, Okay, Beskar Armor Mandalorian being one of them. When he's in Whistling Birds, for instance, if he gets ability blocked, he won't be able to do anything and it can mess up his animations. So they're saying they are keeping an eye on it. We think we've nailed all the bugs, but there might be a few issues. So if you find something, let's get some video footage and help out the dev team so that they can fix it for us, right? Also, TB rewards. Here we go. We are getting our TB rewards on the 30th, the end of the month. Yes, I understand it is a little bit later, but on the plus side, they are saying it's not just you're getting your NTB rewards. You should be getting all of your phase rewards, which should include all the Reaver shards that you are getting, all of the special mission shards that you are getting, the Get 2, the Get 3, all that good business should be an exact replica of what you did before, and you didn't have to work for it. Isn't that wonderful? Now, they are saying for guilds that skip between doing, say, Darkside Geo and Rise of the Empire, or Lightside Geo and Rise of the Empire, will be getting their Rise of the Empire rewards. They prioritize those rewards, not the worse off TB. So you don't have to worry thinking, oh gosh, we did our Darkside Geo TB last time because we needed some watch shards. We normally do Rise of the Empire. They're just going to give us Darkside Geo TB. I want to have our rote rewards. You will get rote rewards, guys, okay? It'll make sure that you get those, which is great. The only thing that I think is a little disappointing here is they're not saying anything about any compensation that is being given out. And this has been a bone of contention in my communities online and my streams recently, that people are rightfully, they're annoyed, okay? They're annoyed they missed out their rewards. Personally, I'm quite happy that I didn't have to sit down and go through Rise of the Empire again. It was nice having a bit of a week off. That was lovely. But I do concede, there are players that have been materially impacted by not getting TB rewards. Maybe they didn't get Reaver unlocked when they should have. There is a GAC locking, and they could have used that Reaver to gain an advantage in their GAC matchups. Maybe they needed extra get currency to get extra Kyrotech in order to take characters to relic levels. I know of one person in my community that missed out on a Relic 7 Bo-Katan Mandalore because they needed these raid rewards. There are people that have been impacted, no matter how little or how small. CG, I feel, should be giving some level of compensation out to the player base. And I don't think it should be on an individual basis. I think that they should just say, we're sorry, there was a problem with TB. We apologize that there is a delay in your rewards. Here you go. We've deposited 1,000 crystals into everybody's account. I'm just using that as a for instance. I think personally that some compensation is due to the player base for the inconvenience caused. Maybe that's just the Brit in me. I don't know. Let me know, guys. What do you think? Are we due compensation? I'm just happy that they've acknowledged exactly what we should be getting. That's really good. And I think that's going to about do it, guys. That video has gone on longer than anticipated. I'm sorry, but there was a lot of news for us to break down today. Please, please, please do take a moment and make sure you like that video. Leave me a comment down below telling me exactly what you think about this latest updates, all the Lightspeed bundle packs, all of the Jar Jar information, the new Mandalorian plant. There's just so much stuff, guys. So much stuff. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think, and one big shout out to my amazing, amazing patrons. Thank you so much for continuing to support me. Really does mean a lot. Until the very next video, guys, peace out, and may the Force be with you.